Hey, you guys, what's going on? 845 Sportscards coming out of the Hudson Valley. I just got out of Gamestop, and I want to talk about the process that I just went through there. What I did, I was looking to evaluate and submit a couple cards to grading. I had 5 cards. I'll show them on the screen right now. So those cards, 5 cards, what I did was I took those 5 cards, every card I pulled out of a pack myself. All the packs you've seen on this channel. I took those cards, I selected out the ones that I felt would be a good prospect for grading. There were cards like Otani, Paul Skeens. There were cards that I felt would have value if graded. Now, if they come back at 10, there's an enormous boost in value. If they came back at 9, maybe close to break even. But we have to save money on the grading itself. So when I looked at all these cards, I took a 10x loop, which you can see right here. 10x loop. This is my father's old 10-inch loop that he would bring around to card shows and coin shows and take a look at the very fine details. This is what PSA is going to do. They're going to look at a 10x magnification under very, very bright light. So that's what I did. A bright LED light on a table lamp, 10x loop. I looked at the corners, edges, surface, and I evaluated the centering the best I could on those 5 cards. And I figured the quality of player, the quality of card, I personally couldn't find any defects. I'm very, very critical. Again, with the 10x loop and a bright light, I didn't see any nicks, scratches, dents, divots, corner wear, fraying, anything that would obviously knock the card down from a 10 to a 9 or an 8, or even worse. I didn't see anything, so those are the cards I evaluated based on quality of card, condition of card. So now I got 5 cards. I wanted to submit to PSA because that's going to be my biggest resale value. SGC is a quick turnaround time. PSA might be 2 months, 3 months, but the value is unquestionable. The value is in PSA. So I want to go to PSA, but I only had 5 cards. Even with the Collectors Club, you would need to send a minimum of 20 cards to get the $18.99 value price. The next tier up is $25 a card. So when you think about it, take your 5 cards, throw them in card saver ones. Then you got to package them, insure them, mail them to you, and get return shipping back. PSA quoted $40 for shipping. So now $25 a card, $40 for shipping. That's eating into the possible profit margin. More cards you would save on shipping, but I only got 5 cards, not a lot, so I got a problem here. So what I figured was I'm not going to do it myself. I don't want to do $25 a card and pay for the full price of shipping. I'll find a group grader, a group submitter. I'll go to my local card shop. Awesome. There's a few local card shops in the area I have good relationships with. Brought them down there, and they were all about it. No problem. We will send away a group submission soon. We can put your cards in, no doubt about it. $30 a card. When you factor in the $40 I would have paid for shipping, that's about the same. Doesn't really change anything. So I thought about maybe I could do something about it. But then I heard on another YouTube content creator's show that Gamestop was doing PSA grading services. So I said, hey, let's head over to Gamestop. Let's find out what we can get. Here's my experience. I brought these 5 cards in. They're all in card saver ones with penny sleeves. I know what they are. I know the value they have. Not crazy value. The most expensive card. If the Jordans come back as a 10, maybe $450, $500. The Pete Alonso comes back as a 10, which is very unlikely with that thick card stock. One is never sold. I have no idea what it's worth. Let's call it $300, $500. Who knows? Not crazy expensive. So I figured it was worth the risk. Bring it to GameStop, 2 young kids behind the counter, and I said, hey man, I want to grade with PSA. And they said, what do you got? I said, well, I got baseball cards. Oh, okay, we're used to TCG cards, used to game cards, Pokemons, and Arcana cards coming in here. Okay, so no problem, come on in. They took out their little iPad, they logged into the system. I said, show us the cards. They took the cards, and they said, these have to be in top loaders. I said, I've been grading with PSA personally since the 90s. Cards have to be in card saver ones, semi-rigid holders. And they said, well, I don't know what to tell you, sir. Our boss told us top loaders. The young lady went to the drawer, handed me a stack of top loaders. So I took my cards carefully out, slipped them into the top loader, as they said, gave it back to them. But the young lady put all the cards on the counter, took the iPad, took a photo of the 5 cards. Went into the system. They said, do you have an account with us? I go, when I was a kid, maybe. I don't know. She went in, what's your phone number? Phone number. Hey, you do have an account. Awesome. She never asked my address. I didn't have to write down, I didn't document what the cards were. All they have is a photograph. I didn't say what year they were, what brand they were, estimated value, minimum grade, nothing. All they did was, here are my cards. They took a picture, gave them the phone number. That was it. With the intake, she counted the number of cards, noted that they were not trading cards. They were, it had like, there was 2 categories. It was trading card games, not trading card games, which is to say sports cards. But they're obviously very TCG focused at GameStop. But whatever. And she said it was $19.99 per card plus $5 total shipping. So it ends up being $21 a card. And I said, okay, that sounds great. What's the turnaround time? She goes, oh, no, it's 45 days because we're doing groups of 20. Should be 45 business days, which works to be about 2 months. With the holidays, you know, it kicks it out a little bit, but it should be before Valentine's Day if we send it out before Thanksgiving, right? So $21 a card. She took a picture and then printed out, from the computer, printed out 6 barcodes. On the back of each top loader went one of these barcodes connected to my account. Then they took the 5 top loaders, put it into a Mylar bag, sealed that, and took the 6th barcode and put it on the back of the Mylar bag, sealed the bag, put it in a drawer with the other Mylar bags with barcodes on it. And she said that barcode is the way they keep everything together. But I don't know. It's really a roll of the dice. These kids had no idea what was going on. When I showed them the cards, the kid, one of the other kids was like, hey, what is that? Is that a, I said, it's a patch card. It's a Pete Alonso patch from an All-Star game in 2019. She goes, they could put pieces of jersey in a card. Like, these kids were oblivious to sports cards. I mean, they were probably in their 20s. Might have been their first job. They knew how to do their job. They knew how to follow directions, but they had no idea about sports cards. 0 sports card knowledge. All they knew was what they were told. Top loader, take a picture, print the barcode, slap it on the back of the card, Mylar bag, corresponding barcode, log the email, send it out. I did receive an email right away from GameStop with my GameStop account that I've had since 2013 apparently, saying thanks for your submission. And they said along the way I would get recurring emails about status. PSA received it. They've identified the cards. They've graded the cards. They're shipping them. You should receive them, whatever. All the different steps along the way that you would normally get from PSA if you yourself submit. But it was only $21 per card. Time will tell how the results are. I'm not confident I'm going to get the cards back. I'm not confident they won't be damaged, being that they were just sent in top loaders with a bunch of other cards by people that didn't care. I don't know how they packed them. Again, obviously, GameStop is TCG focused, so I don't know if they treat sports cards differently. Do they have separate graders for GameStop? They're going to have some back-end support for the GameStop submissions. I read that they got like, I don't know, 800,000 in submission value. So that's what, 21 cards, 40,000 cards in the last month. So they're getting some significant intake from GameStop locations, which have a good footprint nationwide, much better than trading card shops would be. And it's pretty low level of admission. A young kid comes in, pulls some Lorcana or some Pokemon, wants to get it graded, tells his mom to hand it over. There's a nice, easy way to do it now, as opposed to going to a sports card shop, which might be a little more intimidating for a young kid. Needless to say, I'm not a young kid, but I wanted to save some money and get some good value. So I wonder what they're going to do on the back end at PSA. When these come in through this different channel, do they have separate graders? Do they kick it out to the sports card graders specifically? Do they have their own GameStop graders? Will I get 45 days turnover time? Will it be quicker because the pipeline has less cards coming in and they want to please the customer? I think having GameStop accepting PSA submissions, if I can get the same results as if I did it myself, is a home run. I could drive to 3 GameStops within 20 minutes of my house. Card shops, there's no card shops within 20 minutes of my house. I have to drive across the river, 40 minutes away for a card shop. So, and you go to Middle America, you might even find a bigger disconnect between GameStop and card shops. So it's a nice way for people to get into the easy entry into grading, as long as we can get results. I wouldn't even dream of bringing a big money card to GameStop. If I had a vintage card, worth 6 figures, no chance. I'd drive to New Jersey myself and hand it to the PSA. If I had something in the $2,000-$3,000 range, I would pack it myself and FedEx it overnight. I would pack it myself to make sure it got there properly. PSA, it's kind of a roll of the dice through GameStop. We're going to find out. So it is now November 20-something, 24th, 23rd, maybe November 23rd. It's the week of Thanksgiving. I'll keep you up to date on this. I'll revisit this when I get those cards, probably in February. But if you have lower value cards, you're looking to save a little money, you don't have that $20 card commitment to send to PSA, and you don't want to pay the marked up price that a trading card, a regular hobby shop will charge, group submitter, and you want to just take the risk, it's an option. Just be aware it's an option. Ends up being $19.99 a card plus $5. If you have a GameStop Pro account, $25 a year to buy video games and stuff, they give you 5% off on their retail sports cards and trading card games. They only had Topps Holiday there. They had a bunch of blasters of Topps Holiday. 5% off ends up being cheaper than what Target has it for. So there's some entryway into sports cards it looks like they're doing. The PSA is a nice foothold in, because I went there specifically for the PSA grading and I saw the Holiday. I didn't buy any, but that's because I'm a little sick of the Topps base designs on every different iteration between the sapphires and the logo fractors and the gilded, and it's too much for me. But interesting to see it happening. Hopefully it continues to grow. PSA and GameStop have a partnership now, so it might be something beneficial for the low-level collector to take advantage of. I will keep you posted. Let me know what you think. Let me know your experiences. Check it out. Talk to them. Your mileage may vary. The kid behind the counter at your GameStop might have a little more knowledge of sports than mine did. At least the people I dealt with were careful and knew how to do the system. So, but I had a manager too, so it might have something to do with it. So just topic of the day. I thought it was pretty interesting that GameStop took PSA submissions. Fingers crossed. Hopefully they all come back 10s, and it's a great experience, and I could do it again and again. But either way, thanks for watching, guys. 845 Sports Cards out of the Hudson Valley. Like, comment, subscribe. Do those things you do on YouTube. Catch you guys later.